Hello, hi. We're Plus One EXP. Welcome, and we're also the cult. I'm Sarah. I'm your stepdad and one of the cult leaders here at Plus One EXP, and I'm joined by some really great humans who will introduce themselves shortly. Plus One is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design and beard and skincare alchemy with the Bardic College of Content Creation. The dream and hope here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. And it's very cool, and it's very fresh, and we love it. We're going to go ahead and go around the table and introduce who we've got here today. Andrea, would you start us off?
Yes, sure. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea. I use she, her pronouns, and you can not just find me at the address you can see on your screen, but you can also find me at plotmoneygames.com because I'm here in my role as both game designer and an illustrator and the publisher of said game that we're currently crowdfunding and that we're going to play today. And I'm very excited to do that with you. And the game is Against the Monster, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit some more.
Perfect. And heck, can you tell the people who you are and where they can find you?
Of course. Hey, everybody. I'm Sir Heckalot. I use she, they pronouns. Can find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot. I tend to wander around different AP channels, do things like graphic design, playing, game designing, GMing. Just in general, being a nuisance in people's pet channels because I'm a veterinary student by day. So I love your pet pictures. Please send me your pet pictures.
Perfect. And last but certainly not least, Keegan.
Hi, I'm Keegan. I'm the other half of the cult, and one of the co-owners of Plus One EXP, and yeah, I'm here. I am here and present.
Which is really all anyone can be if you think about it. Which is very good.
I've been doing this forever, and I've never figured out how to do intros.
We'll get
It's
there
hard.
someday.
Hard.
It is a difficult thing to do. But awesome. And we're here to play Against the Monster, which Andrea is the designer for, and we're very excited. It will be launching on Kickstarter. Is on Kickstarter, Andrea, correct?
Yeah, it is on Kickstarter. I've designed the game together with Jasmin Neitzel, my co-designer, and it's currently on Kickstarter as part of Zine Quest, Zine Month, and the campaign is going until March 1st. So you still have some time, but not so much time to back it.
Get it while you can. And the link is on the overlay right beneath Keegan and myself to go check that out. Awesome. And I don't want to waste any time. I want to play this mother flipping game. So, Andrea, I want to kick it over to you to go ahead and get us jumped in and ready to go.
Yeah, so just the viewers know what we're doing here. We're going to be reading some introduction text together, like taking turns. That tells us what the game is about and how the game works. And in between the reading, we will take breaks to set up the scenery, so to speak, and to decide in what environment are we hunting the monster and maybe what type of monster we're hunting. And the safety tools are also included in the setup bit. So we just basically, there's not a lot of stuff to say before. We can just open the zine or open the file and start reading. And yeah, I think that's what we should do as soon as I can find my file on my monitor. Just too many things open.
Correct.
All right. How should I start, and then we go like
yeah, we can
in
go
in the order of display.
Yeah, perfect. So Andrea,
that would be
Heck,
me,
myself, and then Keegan. I think that's perfect.
Great, sure. All right. Against the Monster is a story game about a monster hunt, the good of the monster, and the monstrosity of the hunters.
After a short collaborative preparation, during which you define some foundations for your game, you take turns drawing playing cards. Each of those is associated with a question. Over the course of the game, you develop your monster and your characters through your answers to the questions.
Oh, it's my turn. In the end, every character answers. Suddenly, the monster is facing you. Do you attack?
Setup cards. Look for the King of Spades in your card deck and put it on the side. Shuffle and stack the rest of the cards. For a game of about 2 hours, put the King of Spades somewhere in the middle of the card deck. For a shorter or longer game, put it further up or down into the stack.
Yeah, and just so you know, we'll be using a playing cards IO playing cards deck, and we can't put the King of Spades at a specific position with this platform. So if we draw it too early, we'll just put it back, and if we don't draw it early enough, we'll just decide that it's here now, and we're going to end the game. So this is how we're going to improvise.
Cool.
That bit of the rules. All right, setting. You set out together to hunt the monster and end its existence once and for all. Now customize your setting together in some more detail. Just sketch out a rough picture. Further details will develop during the game. Take notes if you like. So the first question we have is, what's your environment? And there are some examples like forest, a city, a desert, a space station, mountains, a dungeon. Are we at sea? Or maybe in a virtual world? And the other question, I don't know. Let's do the first one, and then do the second question. Do you have any preferences? I mean, I can tell you what we already did in a live stream, so maybe we can do something different.
Yeah, that sounds
I
great.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did hunt a ghost in a desert, and we did hunt a monster during the Venetian carnival, and we
Ooh.
hunted some sort of artificial intelligence in a virtual world that was also full of islands and oceans. So we should do something else.
Okay. I want to say I don't want to do a space station, only because last time we had you on stream, we did a space station.
Right.
Oh
right.
my
We did
God,
the
you're right for
Cuba.
being
We did the Cuba in space. Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah. We should do something earthy.
Yeah. I sort of like the idea of a forest. I think it's
Yeah, cool.
I think it's interesting it hasn't been done yet because it feels so classic for like hunting a
Mhm.
cool monster.
For real.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So is it a specific forest? Like, does it look in a specific way, or is it in a specific area?
Ooh.
Like, what trees does the forest have?
I like aspens a lot.
You want that? Aspens are
Yeah.
good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be like a mixed tree forest.
Mm-hmm.
But just I feel like the now I don't know the technical terms in English, but like whether they have leaves or like needles, they tend to have a different vibe. But we can have all kinds of trees in our forest.
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of mentally went straight to like the Black Forest, like
Oh,
very
perfect.
dark
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I've been there.
oh heck yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. I would love to go to there.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, so there will be lots of trees. It will indeed be quite dark within the trees, and it's sort of mountainy as well. So it's
Yeah,
not
that
like,
sounds-
not like a flat area.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's great.
Great. All right. Then the second question is, did someone send you, or did you set out on your own initiative? Like, are we hunting the monster because someone told us to, or do we want to because we want to?
I kind of like the idea that we're doing this because we decided to do it. Like we are a
Mhm.
very independently minded party with our own plans about how the world works.
Cool.
Uh,
Do we? And maybe in what time are we hunting the monster? Is this sort of a like pseudo historical setting? Are we doing this in the here and now?
I'm-
How do you feel?
immediately sort of drawn to here and now, but I could go either way.
I'm cool with the here and now vibes. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Cool. Okay, so okay. Do we feel like we need anything else for the environment? Or should we move on to the next section of the text?
I'm happy to move on.
Cool. Then I think it's Hex turn to read.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the monster. Your monster can develop over the course of the game and surprise you with the shape it takes. You can also define the rough type of the monster and just leave the details open. You'll find examples in the random roll table on page 21.
Yeah, and you don't find the examples because I didn't send you those this page.
We don't see that.
But I can tell you what's on the page, and it's basically a roll table with like 18 different monster types. And there's stuff like I already said, artificial intelligence. It could be a demon. It could be a spider, a monarch. It could be a tentacle monster. It could be whatever a type of monster. And we can roll for that, or we can just decide something that fits into a forest, or we can leave it open and figure out what kind of monster is as we play.
I'm cool with rolling or leaving it open. I kind of like the discovery aspect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say.
So we don't know what kind of monster we're hunting. It's
Yeah.
just something has been happening, and maybe we set out to explore it and end it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Cool. Perfect.
Sarah, that's
I
you.
think.
Yeah,
You're on
so we're
topics.
topics. Then discuss which topics you'd like to leave out of the game entirely, which ones you only want to hint at, and which aspects you're particularly interested in. Take notes if you like. Please note, the game assumes that the hunters originally set out to kill the monster. Some questions imply that the monster or the hunters have caused damage. Perfect. So this is like our lines and veils section. Which
Exactly.
love is built directly into the game. Very, very, very good.
Yes, thank you. I will pass that on to the co-designer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything like I would prefer, like, I can't imagine that there are too many like children. I don't know, maybe Hansel and Gretel are like stumbling around in the Black Forest, but like harm to children is kind of a veil for me. Other than that, and like the lines around like racism, transphobia, sexual assault, all that stuff that I'm sure we've all are aware of.
Yeah. I would like to take COVID out of the world, since we're playing in the here and now, and or like let's play like in 2019 where we don't know this is going to happen yet. So just so we don't have to think about how that
we don't
works.
have to sink too deep into that thought.
Yeah, we don't have to build this
Spiral
whole
on screen.
entire alternative reality that we're unfortunately not living in.
The monster is something we can hunt.
Yeah, let's all right.
Cool.
Is there anything that we're particularly interested in? Something we'd like to have in the game? Could be a topic, could be a scene, could be a setting. Anything?
Man, just all the cryptid hunting vibes. If we're doing this modern day, like, yes, cryptozoology.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I feel like I should have looked up specific Black Forest cryptids, but
if only there was a way you could have known.
Let's just wing it. I should have intuited it. Anyway. Cool. All right. I keep forgetting whose turn it is. Keegan, I think
no worries, it's me. Yeah. Veto. If anything appears during the game that spoils your fun, you can remove the consent anytime. You can use established consent and safety tools like the X card or script change, or you can just say, I'd like to remove that, whatever works best for you. After such a veto, it might be necessary to clarify what content needs to be removed or changed, but you never have to explain why you want something removed.
Right. So this is basically the X card. We're just calling it a different way, and so it's not a specific type of signal. I always say, as long as we know that it's you speaking and not your character, everything's fine. All right. After a veto has been given, check in with each other. Do you feel like continuing play right away? Do you need a short break, or would you like to stop the game altogether?
If you want to, add further methods to ensure everyone's safety, consent, and well-being, and to clarify the shared direction of the game. In any case, the people in the session and their well-being are always more important than the game.
Awesome. So now we're to how to play. drawing cards and answering questions. When it's your turn, draw a playing card from the card stack. Then look up the question attached to it on pages 12 through 19 and read the question out loud. If you can't or don't want to read out loud, someone else from the group can do it for you. Then interpret and answer the question however you like. During your turn, other players may ask you follow-up questions or make further suggestions. Whether you answer these questions or accept the suggestions is your decision.
Yeah, and how we'll do it is that I will read the questions because I'm the
Perfect.
only one who has the questions.
Excellent.
So the mystery doesn't get spoiled.
Making decisions. Be brave and make decisions about the world and the monster. As long as you respect any boundaries expressed earlier, there are no wrong answers. Trust that the other players will suggest alternatives or give a veto if necessary.
Adapting or passing on questions. If necessary, adapt the question, ask the other players for ideas, or skip your turn and pass along the question to the next player. You can also remove a question you drew yourself. And a question can be passed along until it has been answered or someone vetoes it. And if your question you drew is taken out of the game by a veto, just draw a new playing card.
Developing characters. During the game, you can define further details about your character or ask other players for details of their characters. Take notes if you like.
Ending the game means you keep playing as before until you draw the King of Spades or until you have 10 to 15 minutes left to play. Everyone then answers the final question and the game is over. You do a round of highlights to wrap things up, and that's it. Keegan, you get the last bit.
Yeah. Now the story begins. You've set out together to hunt the monster and end its existence once and for all. It can't take long now until you've tracked down the monster.
And whoever wants to draws the first playing card and looks up the first question on the following pages. So, who wants to start us off? And where is my tab with?
Where is the cards?
Yeah, like 1 second. Let me flip all my screens around now. I'll happily draw the first card. I have
please
found
go.
my tabs. So I am good.
I'm gonna make this a separate window. There we go.
I have two monitors, so I'm always like, is it over here? Is it over here?
Where did it go?
Is it?
I really expect this first one to be the King of Spades, just knowing my luck. Are we ready? It is not.
Hey.
It is an 8 of clubs.
Okay. And if you want to, you can put it over. I'm not sure whether you're showing it on the screen. Oh yeah, there's the room. I can see it. Okay. Wait, 8 of clubs. Scroll. Why do you secretly pity the monster?
Ooh, why do I secretly pity the monster?
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine we've gone like cryptid sort of like vibes here. So I think I pity the monster because I imagine it is sort of like the only one of its kind.
Oh yes.
And it must be isolating to be sort of like so alone, but also to be hunted down. Now, for whatever reason, I still think currently hunting it is the right call. So I only feel so much pity towards it.
Not all of it, but just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Yeah. Have you shared this with us?
No. I think I've kept this to myself so far.
Yeah.
I don't think the other monster hunters would take well to me being like, it is really sad that we have to kill this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right. Should we go in the same order as before?
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
That means it would be
Yeah.
my turn. Okay. I have the 10 of spades. What special strength do you have? And what about that is disturbing? Oh.
Ooh.
I think I can sense the presence of cryptids, and but maybe it's overly heightened. Like it's too much. I can sense everything, even the teeny tiny small cryptids who we don't even need to know about because they're not bothering anyone and they're just living their lives and they're teeny tiny and it doesn't matter. but I'm basically constantly on like, oh my god, there's a cryptid, oh my god, there's a cryptid. And I think it's mostly disturbing to myself because I sense all of the presences. And I don't know, but I'm imagining that I'm setting all of you on edge as well, because I'm constantly like doing.
I
Yeah.
love it. I think it's great.
So is it just like a general notification that there is one there, and there's no degree of magnitude to that, of like how
Yeah.
big or small it is? It's just
I feel like if I would take a minute to actually listen, I would probably notice that this is not a big thing. This is something small, but I imagine it to feel a little bit like, you know, when you have anxiety and everything seems like a danger to your brain, and you have to like get used to it and retrain it and like, no, this thing is very harmless and you don't need to freak out about this. But if it reaches this and that kind of intensity, but maybe it's new to me because I haven't felt this before, and it's a new ability and I need to get used to it. And yeah.
I think it's great. I like it.
very good.
Cool.
Okay, that brings it to me. Let's draw a card. Go right here. Wait. Oh, King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts. You get. Why does the monster make you sad?
Oh no. Of course, I get this question first. Oof. If we've kind of established that this is, the only one or maybe even the last one, yeah, it's sad to think that it's all alone. It could be confused, it could be scared. And that's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it remind you of a time when you felt like that?
Probably. I don't think there are that many monster hunters out there. I mean, there's a decent number, but most people think that you're uh that this isn't real, and that's hard to communicate to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
All right. My turn.
Yes.
3 of Hearts.
The 3 of Hearts. Oh, where did you first see the monster? And what about this encounter will remain in your memory forever?
Ooh, I think that I think I'm still second guessing if I actually saw the monster, but I feel like I know that I saw something, but because we don't know anything about what it is, like I'm kind of like second guessing myself. And I want to say it was like we went into the forest, maybe we'd been camping for like I don't know, 3 to 4 days. Like we'd been there a while. And there was like a bright flash like by some trees that like I'm like maybe it was lightning, but it wasn't raining and there was no thunder, like kind of going through that. And I think I'm really unsettled because I know like if this is the last one, like the fact that like I saw it this early on in our expedition feels really crazy, right? Because this thing's been hidden in the woods and like it's the last one, and for me to see it makes me feel just a little bit at ease. It shouldn't have been like that easy, but I'm making stories up to say like I don't think that was actually it. Maybe it was like a garbage bag that was like blowing in the wind. You know what I mean? It could. Here's all of these things it could have been.
Nice. I believe that's me again. So I'm gonna pull a card. I got the 2 of Hearts.
You had the 2 of Hearts. What do you think is disturbing about the appearance of the monster?
Ooh, that's a great one. I think the like most disturbing thing about the appearance of the monster is that like in the right light, which is to say like sort of in the dark of the Black Forest, it almost looks human, like from the right angles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, it sort of raises the question of like what it is,
Mhm.
or if it like maybe was human before.
Mhm.
And I don't know how true that was. That's what
Mhm.
it feels like.
Yeah. So are you wondering like whether everyone can become a monster, or are you what is disturbing to
Yeah, I
you
think
about this?
I think the disturbing thing is that I wonder if it used to be a person and what
Mhm.
that raises questions about like
Yeah.
it and maybe even other monsters.
Mhm. Yeah. Cool. I want to add a little detail that's not in the rules text yet. Just you always feel free to add descriptions of the environment, of the surroundings whenever you feel like you would like to have that. That's also included in stuff you can add. You don't necessarily have to focus on the questions. You can do that.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Oh, it's my turn. See, too many things at once. So I have the 6 of Hearts, and
Lots of hearts.
I was
Just gonna
saying
knock them
3
all out.
back-to-back hearts. Yeah.
yeah.
Sending it.
So something about the monster reminds you of your childhood. Why does that calm you? Oh, interesting. Especially with me and this overactive cryptid sense. I think in the past I might have had contact with a cryptid.
Mm.
Ooh.
Maybe. Oh, I think maybe we lived near a lake, like up in the mountains, or went there on holidays, and I think there was like a cryptid living in the lake. And I was friends with them,
Ooh.
and we used to play together because I don't know, I was an only child, and my parents always didn't want to come along when I went out exploring. And I think there's a certain smell that's like that, and I think it might be what's the word? Like when something's I can't think of the term right now. When something is like wet and a little bit rotting. What's that
Mm.
smell? Is there a word?
I don't know if there's a word for
Wet,
that.
like when you have a piece of wood that's been in the water too long and it gets a certain smell,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like that. And that scent reminds me of this time, and that reminds me that, wait, why do I suddenly think that cryptids are dangerous and that we need to be afraid of them? This is weird,
How
but it reminds me of good times in my childhood.
is the lake cryptid still there?
Oh, I don't know because I haven't been there in a long time,
Okay.
but I would like to think it is.
We
I
hope
mean,
it
it would
is.
be terrible if it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If we're done with that card, it takes it to me then. 10 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds. What did you first notice about the monster?
Ooh. If we are in the Black Forest is mostly like needled trees, right? Mostly conifers.
Mhm.
Meaning that they produce cones. I think it'd be very interesting if one of the first things that I noticed was that this creature has plates very similar to the pattern of a
Oh,
pine cone.
oh,
Oh, that
interesting.
rocks.
It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Give me all the anatomy and physiology. I'll do it. I'll
yeah,
do it.
yeah. Perfect. It's so good.
All right. Well, 4 of clubs.
The 4 of clubs. Oh, sorry, I really like this question. What traces did the monster leave on your body?
Oh no. That's a great question. I want to go with, when when you accidentally brush a butterfly wing too much and it leaves behind like a dust, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're I like, and again, I don't know if I knew that I was brushing into it at all. Like, I don't know if it was like camouflage or what, but we noticed that I had some like dust on me that like for whatever reason like under different lights like shines like with a different light, like bioluminescent, but not necessarily like the blue green. Like I want a different, more interesting bioluminescent color.
Orange?
Yeah, orange or like red, like it like almost like it looks like it's burning, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think that like if I leave it on too long, it does actually start to like burn a little bit. So I don't realize this until it's like kind of chewing through my clothes and then to my skin.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I hate that for you.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I didn't see it, and now I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe there's some weird snails. Like, I don't know why I'm suddenly the skeptic monster hunter, but
Yeah.
Someone
Sometimes-
has to be.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the cards give you your character.
Yeah. I feel like my character definitely starts freaking out now every time I see, because I feel like there's always these tiny forest mushrooms everywhere, and they're sometimes like in the yellow orange shades, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it again. I'm like, no, this is just a mushroom. Calm down. It's fine.
Do we think that various cryptids here are associated with certain wavelengths then? Because this is trending more towards like the lower end of visible light.
Ooh, I do like that.
Yeah.
I like that we're like establishing some cryptid lore here. We're like, we came in to like get rid of this thing and we're gonna leave educated. And I like that about us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the lake cryptid definitely was sort of in the green and brown spectrum, as you would expect.
Ooh.
And haven't seen this orange stuff before. This is weird.
That if you got that sort of like red orange powder stuff from potentially bumping up against it, does that also mean the monster is like at least lightly bioluminescent?
I think so. Yeah. Like I think that there's some aspect of it, but I don't know like what conditions make it so it's like more visible, but I like that idea.
It just does mean there's at some point like a horrifying shot of like a dark forest and like a glowing monster in it that I'm obsessed with.
Or just like bioluminescence kind of like peeking out between like the pine cone slates.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. And you don't know, is it the sunset? Is it the monster?
Maybe that's what it was before with like my question of like, I didn't know what I saw. Maybe I convinced myself it was like the sunset through the trees, but I knew that we were like 4 days into the forest, so that was impossible. But I was like, I don't know.
Also kind of the wrong direction.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Really
I'm like,
doesn't
listen,
fit in the north.
I'm not going to think about it.
It had to have been a reflection, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pull the next card.
Yes.
I pulled the 9 of spades.
The 9 of spades.
I always have this little moment of hesitation after pulling a card. I'm like, do I know the suits? Like, do I know?
Same.
Wow, what a call out. Me pausing.
Because I did the exact same thing on the card right before you, bud.
Let me show you what we did. We put little card symbols.
Amazing.
In text for other people like us.
Yeah, that's smart.
So, no, I already forgot what you drew. Wait, the 9
No
of
worries.
clubs.
9 of
The
spades.
9 of spades. See, there we go. 9 of spades. What weakness do you try to hide from the other hunters, and who knows about it nevertheless?
I love that Keegan got this question.
I love being a weak little monster hunter who feels bad for the monster. Yeah, I think my weakness is that like I think maybe this is my first hunt. Like the first hunt where I'm like an active member. I'm not just like sort of there shadowing someone. Um, and I think it is clear. I'm not sure who right now, but I think it's clear that I just like don't have the sort of killer instinct we probably need to kill this monster.
Yeah.
Who thinks they see that though?
That's such a great question because I feel like we've got a whole bunch of energy. Like I listen. I don't know how we're gonna kill this thing because like Andrea is your buddy. Keegan and Heck are sad.
Exactly. It's like
Um,
that might be why like my character noticed.
Yeah, I was just say with us having sort of the same energy here, I think there's something maybe like some bit of you see in me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Have you acknowledged that you know that?
I don't know. I feel like that's like later on in the
Yeah.
hunt. That's like, listen, I know we're getting, closer and closer to this thing. What are we gonna do, right? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how do you try to hide it?
ooh.
Oh, I think I try to hide it by sort of like acting excited to kill the monster in a way that maybe doesn't make a ton of sense. Like
Mm,
I think the gun's always out. I think I'm shooting anything that moves. I'm shooting at anything that moves.
yeah.
Like y'all just wait. I'm gonna bag this monster.
Yeah. No, I have to tell you, you definitely have a hunting rifle because we don't usually have like smaller guns like as normal piece of people's
Yeah,
property, but you might be in like a hunting club or you might have family in a hunting club, and so you probably have a hunting rifle.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I think I have shot at a few what ended up actually just being pine cones that I thought were a monster from a distance.
Oh my god, you've been shooting at slime molds all the time.
No, not the slime mold. They'll be okay.
They're so smart. I mean, they are, but you should Google slime molds sometime.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm
absolutely. They're
going to
smart.
need to.
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna draw the next question. It's the Jack of Diamonds. Um, what aspect of the monster did you almost miss?
Ooh.
So, what did I almost miss? Mm, do I even have an answer for that? Does anyone have an idea or a suggestion?
The first thing that came to my brain when I heard that
Mhm.
question was some sort of signs of symbiosis with something else. Like
Ooh,
specifically like fungal, things like that.
yes,
Very typical of something like a tree.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
but I love the idea that
So,
it's symbiotic with like a bigger, meaner cryptid.
Oh my god. This is just the
yeah,
beginning.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Do you want to describe this a little bit more?
Um,
Uh
go for it, Heck.
oh,
I think you've got the knowledge.
Yeah.
yeah. So an organism that is very typically in a symbiosis with trees is called mycorrhizae. They're essentially these fungi that just extend the roots of trees and
Oh,
like helps. It's essentially the network that connects a bunch of plant life together. It's like they can go for miles. Like they are very, very big organisms when put together. So I think that would be, yeah, like the bigger,
yeah,
meaner organism, just
Oh
this
hell yeah.
giant network.
yeah. And it's
The-
all underground.
The
Yeah.
giant network is specifically really cool because Andrea has the like feels when cryptids are around, and
Yeah.
I think to some
Yeah.
degree that
It's
means like
everywhere.
yeah,
Oh,
it is
shit.
everywhere at some
Yeah.
point. Like to some degree, the forest is a cryptid.
I
Yeah.
love it when a plan comes together. I fucking love it.
Yeah. 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 Perfect. Oh, this is so good. Yeah.
This is very,
I
very
love
good.
I
Thank
love
you
it
for
when
answering my
something-
question.
and we all sit there quietly for a second and just like, yeah,
Yes.
that was good. Yeah,
That's what I love
Okay.
about these games though, is like it's so immediately, depending on the group of people that you're playing with, creates a vibe. And everyone just like gives into the vibe and we're all like in that space together. And there's very few experiences like you don't get this when you're like trying to work on a project at work. It's the opposite of
True.
this. Like it just feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's me. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's me. 2 of clubs.
2 of clubs.
look at Heck just immediately knowing what a card is.
Just on the spot.
Yeah.
They know their business.
All right.
It's only because I was facilitating for a Viva La Queer Bar game, and I was like, my brain needs to be here.
All right. So, speaking of weaknesses, which weakness of the monster do you know of?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think since this thing is very adapted, at least from the characteristics we know, very adapted to being in the dark, it really doesn't like being out towards the light. I think that is, it inhibits what it, needs to do to survive.
Yeah. Oh my god, that immediately makes me think the thing that your character saw, Sarah, like the flash thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something died there.
What?
Like because it was light, and that can't have been good for the monster. My god, why am I pitying the monster?
Listen,
It was
I
so
love it.
bad.
Like, I think I'm gonna save the thought that I had earlier till the end of the game because the vibes are immaculate right now, and I don't want to feed into them too much. But I love this like weird pity, fear. Are we doing the right thing? Question that emerged literally.
Card. It was literally
Step
the first
one.
card.
First
Yeah.
card. But meanwhile,
Yeah.
we do know that there's a massive network of like a large cryptid underneath our feet that could at any moment just like, it's very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, the images in my head are very good as well.
All right, next card
Yeah.
is the 2 of spades.
2 of spades. What did you gain during the monster hunt so far? And what about that was unexpected?
I think a lot like and we talked about this a little bit, like the knowledge of this other cryptid and the relationship between the two. And I also think it begs the question, right? Like if there is this symbiotic relationship and this one is the last one, can this somehow explain a phenomenon of the other cryptid in other places? Like are they also dying out, or maybe they've become very erratic and violent, and like because they don't have something to like fulfill a need, it's gone looking for a need, or perhaps having like, I think that it's like brought up more questions, or maybe more what it is part of the reason we need to kill this particular monster is because if it keeps nourishing the larger cryptid, it will become like an incredibly threatening phenomenon where it otherwise would remain pretty dormant. Perhaps that's what it is like we're trying to prevent a catastrophe of sorts that we know, and like maybe, and like I feel good about having that knowledge now because now I can stop, like I'm now more on board with like we gotta do the thing. Like before I was like, oh okay, no, now we gotta do the thing.
Yeah. I'm immediately thinking of, like sometimes when you take out a species out of an ecological environment, things get out of balance, and then you need to sort of like you literally kill for the upkeep of the environment so it doesn't get out of balance.
Right.
And that is like I believe the original idea of hunting is to sort of keep the balance and not just kill. And yeah, I feel like maybe that's what we're doing or planning to do at least. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. I'm gonna draw the next one.
Yes.
It is a 9 of clubs.
The 9 of clubs. You. Oh, wait. This is the wrong question. Give me a second because we replaced that one, and I need to quickly find. All right. So I'm going to improvise the translation. So what damage did you already cause during the monster hunt?
Oh, I think we talked about how I'm sort of jumpy and sort of firing at anything that moves. And I think there's a very real possibility I have killed some sort of animal in this forest that there
Mhm.
just like are not many of. Like some
Yeah.
sort of like endangered bird or something like that that like does actually threaten to put the environment like in a worse position.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah. God, now I wish I wouldn't I could give a real life example of like what
I
animals
know.
in
I
the
was like,
area.
oh, I know so much about birds, but not European birds. That is like one of my blind spots. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I was maybe, I mean, realistically, it might have been something. I'm not entirely sure whether whether there are wolves in the Black Forest, but I know that wolves have like come back to certain parts of Europe, and that's what I'm thinking of. But it can totally be a bird,
No,
and
wolf makes perfect
yeah,
sense, actually. Especially if it was one that like wasn't going after us. Like I think there's a degree
yeah,
of this where it is not just I did a bad did it would be different if I did a bad thing because it was hunting us. It's
yeah,
something else to do a bad thing because I was trying to look brave and willing to kill a monster.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm totally blaming myself for that too, because I feel like I freaked you out with my constant. There's
Oh.
a cryptid. There's a cryptid. Shoot it! Shoot it! Do
Mm-hmm.
something.
Oh no, you're feeding into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I feel guilty as well.
Yeah, I think between you thinking there's a cryptid and things that come in contact with a monster having like a little bit of bioluminescence that I am trying to justify it as like, okay, well it could have been it. It kind of glowed a little bit on one side.
Yeah. But this time it was just the sunset.
Yeah. This time it was just a sunset.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Rip.
Oof.
Yeah. All right. Next card. I had the 6 of diamonds. Goodness, I know why this is so difficult for me because I always have to translate into English as well because of course I didn't learn the card symbols originally in English. And I'm like, okay, 6 of diamonds. Oh my god, why do you want to see the monster suffer?
Ah.
You,
Why?
you getting that is
You getting
so
that.
specific.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes. Oh my god.
If anyone else had that card, it would not have the emotional weight.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, maybe I feel like the lake cryptid abandoned me. And now I'm like kind of like in a sort of jealous revenge mind. And because I'm like, you were supposed to be my friend and you were supposed to be there, and now you're not there anymore. And maybe I'm blaming this specific monster that we're hunting for taking away the cryptid, because maybe there was this bioluminescence near the lake that I remember, and then we didn't go back there, or maybe we did go back, and it wasn't there anymore. And now I've been telling myself that this bioluminescent pinecone monster must have eaten the lake cryptid.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
now I'm like, but that was my friend.
Yeah.
This is personal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to make you suffer for that.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
that
it's
was
so
my friend.
sad.
That was my only friend. Yeah.
So
Rip.
sad.
I'm so sad for the lake monster suddenly.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels. Okay. I'll take the me. 6 of spades.
6 of spades. Oh, what isn't the same as before since you've encountered the monster?
Ooh, what isn't the same? I think the group makeup isn't the same. I think there used to be another person, and something about a previous encounter with this cryptid either made them walk out or they didn't walk away from the encounter, depending.
I know I was saying previously, this was my first like real hunt because I'd been shadowing someone. I think it was probably whoever that is.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the
Yeah,
veteran.
no,
not
the
the
mentor.
veteran.
Yeah.
The veteran walked away, and I am trying to fill his shoes, which is the other reason I'm so shooty.
Oof,
Yeah.
bud.
And I mean, like he walked away, so there's like a very clear sign that he wasn't that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god! And so you're stepping up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm badly trying to fill shoes here.
You're like play pretending at like oh man, it's why is it
Yeah.
so sad?
Baby's first monster hunt.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Next
It just
card. Oh, go for it.
hit.
Yeah.
I was just saying, it just hit me. The back of the cards are the exact same as the back of Andrea's background or whatever.
It's very good.
I've been like
Yeah.
trying to put 2 and 2 together, but they're on different monitors, so I'm not seeing them simultaneously, and it just hit me.
It's very funny.
Yeah. I'm trying to do a branding thing here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also
it's good.
the website.
Yeah. Oh.
Very good.
Yeah.
I drew the 7 of Hearts.
The 7 of Hearts. Oh, when did you know that the monster is no danger to you? And why
No!
do you still hunt it?
No.
Did you get the second part of the question?
Yeah,
Sorry.
and why do you still hunt it?
Yeah, perfect.
I think there was a close encounter. Like, I think that perhaps it's part of like it would be after the veteran left, and there was like a moment where I fully understood that like this thing could end everything or like drive me crazy or something, and it didn't, because it was attending to like its other, like it just moving on instinct, so to speak, and those instincts were not leading it to like be harmful to me. But I think, as like previously established, still hunt it because like I know that like if it continues to follow its instinct and like nurture this other cryptid, it could mean like devastating effects, and perhaps like on a personal level, like my family lives nearby, and so it's less about like the I mean, yes, there's the like for the good of the many sort of a deal, but no, specifically the good of me. Like I need to protect the people I care about.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Do I hate us?
I know.
Are we the monsters?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ace of Clubs.
The Ace of Clubs. Scrolling in the wrong direction will not get you to the right place. Oh, why didn't you kill the monster during your most recent encounter? Which might have been the part where you shadowed the other hunter, right?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
feel free
that's
to feel free. I'm not supposed to answer your question for you. I'm
no.
sorry.
That's a great thought though, and I will take it and run with it. Yeah, I think the veteran had the gun last time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he got to it, and he's sort of discovering things that he had, I think, already pieced together, the things that we were piecing together in play.
Yeah.
About this monster. And when he finally found it and it didn't try to hurt him, he was like,
Mm.
what am I doing out here? And he turned around and left.
Yeah.
And I got to see the monster, and I think I'm still scared of it. But
Yeah.
What made you stay though? Like your mentor was like, "What am I doing? This isn't anything," and left, but you stayed.
yeah, I think I still think, for whatever reason, that the monster is a threat or could be a threat. Like, I think maybe cryptids that are in this forest for long enough and are in this like relationship with the big like tree system, I think eventually get violent, even if they aren't necessarily right now, and that it is easier to deal with it before it is a problem.
Is there any
Yeah.
part of it that's like attached to your ego, or is it purely like altruistic?
I think it is purely altruistic. That might shift as time goes on.
Yeah.
But the reason I initially came out the second time on this like second trip here was because I was like, no, we really do have to like sort of cull the cryptids when they show up.
Love it.
Right. All right. Next question. I have the 9 of Hearts. What particular ability of the monster frightens people? I mean, I'm frightened by the mere existence for some reason. But let me think. Is it maybe, I feel like it has to do something with camouflage. Like I feel like it blends really well into the surroundings, into the forest, because it's basically a part of the forest, so it doesn't stand out as something that shouldn't be there. And so it's always, you're not quite prepared. You sort of never see it coming because it's just there, because it's just a forest. And I think, I'm not even sure whether we are scared of that, but I feel like that's something that people tell each other about the monster. Like you don't see it coming, it's just there, and you have no way to defend yourself, to prepare yourself. And this is I'm not even sure whether that's true.
Right.
This is what people say about the monster, and I've definitely heard it before. Like, yeah,
even if it's not a thing you're specifically scared of, it's like a thing the community is scared of.
Yeah.
I would ask though, is that something that's like particularly scary for you?
Yeah, maybe because in my head I've probably thought so many times about like, how will it be? Will it feel like there's a friend? Will I recognize something? Will it feel like an actual monster to me? Because the lake cryptid didn't. And so I always feel like I feel like this is maybe why I'm so jumpy all the time, because I feel like I want to be prepared, and I want to sort of be able to take a breath and then step in front of the monster, and I feel like I can't, and I won't be able to. And so I'm like always like with these super heightened senses, thinking that this is the moment. This is the moment. And I feel like I would like to have the ability to sort of make a decision about meeting the monster, and I'm not sure whether I will have that.
I like that a
Even
lot.
just to add, like, I can't even imagine the dissonance between, like, heightened senses saying that the thing is here, but I can't see it, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, you would almost think that something that like ambushes would be
Yeah.
less scary if you could tell it was coming, but if you always thought it was coming,
Yeah.
it would have to be
Yeah.
so much worse.
Yeah, and you lose all sense for like what is really a danger, right? Because everything feels like a danger, and your brain is constantly telling you like now. And you're like, no, not really. This was again just the sunset.
Love it.
I feel like we're saying it's just the sunset a lot.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's
Same
fine.
thing.
We're establishing a theme. I love it.
Yes. All right. 8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. What about you is a danger to the monster?
Ooh. That's a really good question. I think having some sort of tracking ability might be a threat to its ability to hide itself, because while it might be able to hide its like physical being, it can't necessarily hide where it's been.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially not if like it literally leaves traces on people's bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Oh, 2 of diamonds.
2 of diamonds. What scent tells you the monster is near?
Hmm. I think I like the idea that it's like touch or taste, honestly. Like whether it's
Yeah, free
touch,
to that.
if it's touch, it's just like the air like starts to feel like a little bit like electric kind of a feeling, like
Yeah.
or as you approach, like just the taste in your mouth shifts to that very like peat moss, like earthy dirt kind of a sense. I think that's what it is. There's like a, you can't really count on your eyes or your ears, or then like the smell of the forest is overwhelming, but there's like a skin crawly fuzz
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah. Like during a thunderstorm when you can feel the electricity.
Yeah, kind of like
that.
that. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I think that's as close as our vocabulary can get to describing it, right? Like, because it's not the electricity, but it's something alien and strange that like is like almost like it's pulling at like your skin up and out.
Oh, nice. That's such a good description.
Bad feels.
I'm just like, yes, like sort of static. Oh, it pulls your skin up and out. That's ooh.
Thanks, I hate it.
You're welcome for this gift.
Yeah. So good.
The smell is the hairs in your nose being pulled up and out.
There you go.
I got the Queen of Diamonds.
The Queen of Diamonds. Why do you think the monster trusts you more than the others?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's because I was up close with the monster and we had the weapon. And I mean, it was the veteran didn't shoot it, but I think the monster saw the 2 of us were prepared for violence last time and neither of us did it.
Yeah.
And I think it remembers, and I think it it feels safer with me, which as discussed, probably it shouldn't, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning to use that against the monster?
Ooh.
I am telling everybody I am prepared to use it against the monster, and I still don't think I can.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I have the Queen of Spades. Oh my God. What do you admire about the monster?
Oh man alive, for you to get that. I'm gonna get you because what you did to my friend, but I can respect.
Yeah. um, I think the impression I get from the monster is that it really belongs. It's really part of a really bigger something, and the world would not be the same without it. And I think that must be awesome. That feeling of you're part of the entire forest, and like apparently these cryptids also can communicate with each other, and yeah, just the sense of connection seems like wow.
Are you jealous of it?
Absolutely. I'm not sure whether I would say that out loud, but totally.
I think that makes so much sense because you're constantly sensing them, but you're not a part of them like this is. And like you were so lonely and oh man, so good. So sad.
Yeah. Yeah. And also maybe that it still survives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people have been out to hunt it and destroy it and kill it, and it's still there, and it didn't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta admire that.
Right, the tenacity.
On some level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whole card. King of Spades.
Oh, is it too early?
I would say I kind of want to go like a little bit longer, like
Same.
like 20 minutes or so, and then we can pull that in when it feels good. So I say let's just put that to the side for now.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
I'll move him over here.
Over there.
Hide it.
There you go.
Enough mind. Again. Okay, Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds. Oh my God. You dream of the monster regularly. And how do your dreams look like?
I'm so glad we didn't end.
Ooh. I think dreaming through the eyes of the bigger, meaner cryptid would be really cool. Like essentially like just these tunnels, this network just spanning the entire forest from like just this very low underground even perspective. It's like it's very alien, it's very weird, and it's very unsettling.
Yeah.
Like that a lot.
Oh my God. Like, and is it a dream that has images, or is it a dream that mostly has like a feeling or a sensation?
I think it's very tactile. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I mean, with fungi, like they have like maybe some sense of like whether things are light or dark, but that's about it. Like a lot of this is very tactile and very like, moving through different types of soil and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you tell the rest of us about the dreams?
I feel like my character is like that person that doesn't say anything until much later. Like that guy,
Just
like
haven't heard a word in 3 days, and then like we discover some random fact, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess I should mention. What?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's not a zombie apocalypse. Luckily, it's
Yeah.
like it would be that guy. It's just like, oh yeah, I got bit like 2 days ago. You know, that person.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been having prophetic dreams of this moment.
Oh no.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah. So good.
4 of diamonds.
Oh, why do you envy the monster?
I think because like my close encounter where I witnessed that it just purely moves like on instinct, and like I think I'm envious that it like lives like that in a way. Like I think like it's free of choice. It's free of like, while it is like alone, and but I think there's some aspect of that, right? Like there is it solitude is not necessarily a negative thing, and it has this peace and it has this calm and it has this assured nature where it doesn't have to like, it doesn't overthink. And I've been overthinking this entire time, and I think that like the release of it doesn't have to make a choice, it just moves through like space and time exactly as its DNA intends, and the freedom that comes with that. I think I'm very envious of that as a person with anxiety. I'm so envious of this.
Right, but how does your character feel?
Great. She thinks it's very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll draw the next card so I don't have to think
Yes.
about having anxiety. I have a 10 of clubs.
The 10 of clubs. I mean, which disturbing similarity do you see between the monster and yourself?
Huh. Between the monster and myself. Yeah, I think I see. Because we've heard a lot about the monster and about how all of us sort of think maybe we're the monster instead of it. I think we've also seen some sort of hesitancy from this monster to do violence itself in a way that I am hesitant to do violence towards this monster. Like, a few of us now have had close encounters with it where we've walked away perfectly fine. And it probably knows ostensibly that like we are coming to kill it. And it needs to defend itself. It has all of the power to do so, and it has not.
So do we think it's more of an opportunistic predator then? Or is
Yeah.
there any evidence that actually supports that it's hurt someone?
I don't think there is evidence that it has hurt somebody yet. I think, like I said earlier, I think when cryptids show up in this forest, eventually they become violent. I don't think it has made that switch yet, and I think we are all worried about it eventually doing the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what if it's all just stories we've been told?
I
Like,
think for my
we haven't seen it do any serious damage, but we still all believe that it's dangerous, right?
Or that it could be dangerous.
Yeah.
If we leave it alone. Ooh.
I think for me the potential risk is just merely like it is too much to ignore. Whether it's story or not, it's one of those things that like I refuse to get wrong because of like the personal cost and like the broader cost I perceive. I think that there's like definitely like conflicted feelings about it. Like I don't know if what I'm doing is a good thing, but I think it's the best thing that I can do in this moment. And there's like that struggle between, you know, doing what's good versus doing what's best.
Yeah.
Oof, we've created such a complicated situation
I
here.
love it.
We have though. I blame the cards.
Yeah, I blame the designers. How could they?
Oh.
How dare?
Okay, I have the 10 of the hearts. What equipment do you have with you for your next encounter with a monster? So I think, what do I have? What did I even take to hunt this monster? Um, how would you hunt a fungus? Um,
How would you hunt a giant pine cone?
That's a great
yeah,
question, honestly.
yeah. I'm thinking of some sort of, maybe it's sort of a net, um, that because I feel like we need to capture it first, right? And I kind of want there to be something extra. Um, does anyone have an idea what could be? I don't know. Maybe there's something tied to it, or it's made from a specific material. Um,
Hmm. That's a great question.
Yeah, I think maybe there's like a chance. Like we know, we were just talking about how maybe some of this is just story and like legend and whatnot about the
mhm,
forest. I think maybe there's like a story of like, like classic like, oh, fairies are weak against like silver or something like that.
mhm,
Like, I think there's
yeah.
some chance the net has like bits of some sort of metal we think
Oh yeah.
cryptids are
Yeah,
weak against.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why don't we go with the iron thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think since this is sort of in the present day, I think there's just weird bits of steel. Like I think there's definitely a paper clip in there, and just some random bits of metal, some nails, some screws.
I sort of like
Um,
the idea then that with this net, it was like, okay, we need irons. We like ask the people in our community for it. Like, I have a
mhm.
paper clip, and it's like, yeah, put it in.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. I mean,
that.
it's technically no iron, right? But let's apologies to everybody who knows
Right.
minerals.
But I love the like eclectic nature of it though, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
we think that there's a bunch of
Mhm.
iron, right? But like perhaps there is
Yeah.
some, but it was that communal effort and that's
Yeah.
kind of driving the pressure to like continue this hunt. Is it's not
Yeah.
even like we decided to do it. We
Yeah.
took up the mantle, but it was like
Yeah.
a group effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about, I feel like, isn't steel sort of like refined iron? And maybe we thought this would be even better because it's
Yeah.
stronger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
maybe,
we
yeah.
actually don't know whether it's going to work.
Yeah, I like
Um,
the uncertainty of like we have
yeah,
this thing, we took our best swing at it. Unclear if it's going to be effective.
yeah,
But we're gonna
I
try,
like
damn
that.
it.
Do
Yeah,
our best, buddy.
yeah.
All right. That takes it to me, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Ew.
Okay. 5 of diamonds.
5 of diamonds. Oh, you lost something to the monster. What is it, and what happened?
Ooh, that's a really good question too. Um, trying to think. Because like I had an idea on equipment, but I was like, no, God, it needs to be more personal. It needs to be more personal than that. Um, like, yeah, maybe something associated with her tracking, at least, like maybe a compass or something like that, that does have sentimental value. Like, I mean, if we had a veteran with us, like maybe it was his.
Oh yeah,
um And it was like, this will always guide you in the right direction. Like, some like cryptic, like old person way,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
very eloquent way for me to say that. But yeah, something like that. It was lost to the monster, and maybe involving something with the dreams in particular. Like one of the dreams happened, wake up. Oh, great, compass isn't there. Cool. The big and fungal cryptid probably stole it. So who knows where it might be? Somewhere in
Yeah.
this network.
Yeah. And we definitely spend at least an hour searching everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking everything out of all the backpacks and shaking out every tent and every sleeping bag, and it just was gone.
What do you think we eventually see that like sort of tells us that if we keep looking, it's useless? Like, why do we think the monster specifically took it?
Ooh.
Hmm. I wonder if like there's this one specific patch of Earth that contains, like, it's almost like it switched or replaced with some type of Earth that isn't supposed to be there. So
Hmm.
almost like a tunnel system kind of thing. Where it's like, okay, this probably reached up and took it and then just filled in with whatever it could.
Oh my God.
It's like that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. This is so good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Like randomly different moss
Mhm.
Yeah,
that usually just grows over there by the river.
it's growing on the wrong side of the tree.
Ooh.
Oh my God, yes.
Very
Yes.
cool.
And this is so good because it relates to the compass, because like the moss is always on one's particular side, and you can tell direction. And now it's wrong.
Oh,
And
it's
now
very
it's
good.
wrong.
Oh,
And now we're
this is
starting
Yeah.
to
so
get
good.
lost with our maybe magic net. We're not sure. We're all feeling too many feelings in our bodies.
All of us have so many things we're worried about that we have not verbalized to the group.
It's true.
We're all okay.
All right. Next up, it's Eight of Hearts.
Oh, you've defeated a different monster before. And what do you regret about that?
Oh, shit. Oh,
Sarah was like,
man.
I can do this. And you're like, what do you regret? And she's like,
No, I can't. Did you watch me like, yeah, I'm totally
"Oh." You were like, I gotta win. Shit.
No, I didn't. I think um I think I'm questioning like the morality of what we're doing. Like I think that the we have to do this to survive thing is really, I think the last cryptid or monster really kind of like shook that shelf for me.
Mm.
Where it was like, do we though? Or are we just terrified children running with scissors? Like, perhaps there's like a bigger, surely there's a bigger, better answer, but like, I'm not equipped to figure that out necessarily. And like, I think that I have a lot of regrets about the last one, right? Like, perceived doom, like perceived threat, but when the time came, there was no imminent threat, seemingly, or it was easier than I thought, and so that like, am I doing a good thing? Am I being a is this right? Is really eating at me.
Yeah.
You said we're scared of kids running with scissors, and I just want you to know there are a pair of scissors in the net.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And it's like, it's not even like the halves aren't together. Like the
They're
two
they're
things
split, so we got more surface area.
Yeah.
On
And
I
they're
love
the
it.
tiniest sewing scissors.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the blade is like this long.
Yeah. I love
Like
it.
not the big ones, just the
Yeah,
tiny
the
ones.
teeny ones. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
All right, I got the 6 of clubs.
6 of clubs. why are you glad that the monster exists?
Oh God, I think sort of selfishly, this monster is responsible for me having a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've sort of discovered our community sends us out on this hunt. So I imagine they're, like I'm getting free food in the city and stuff like that to sort of make up for not being able to have a real job because I'm out here hunting monsters. So I think on some like real fucked up level,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad the monster, not just this one, but like sort of all these cryptids are potentially out here because they are job security.
Yeah. Yeah. That immediately begs the question: have you ever let one get away? So just so you'll keep that there's a reason for you to keep going out.
Um, I think there are enough other smaller cryptids that we aren't really worried about out here that I am convinced I will always have job security.
Yeah.
And also I have just like we have I have only recently started like really hunting them.
Yeah.
I think give this character a few years and there's a non-zero chance that is the reality is that like
Yeah.
I didn't catch it this time, but next time.
Yeah. And thank goodness we're paid by the hour and not by monster killed.
Truly fortuitous.
I'm getting overtime and hazard pay.
Oh my god.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the future. This is not. All right. Let me see. I have the 5 of Hearts. Who wants you to spare the monster? Oh my god. So someone doesn't want to kill it. Oh my god. I think it must have been someone from the community. And I learned about it as we were collecting stuff to tie into the net. I don't know, maybe there's a scientist or like someone who's interested in the monsters and knows stuff about them, but is sort of like more out of like, oh my god, isn't it interesting that this exists, and it should remain so that we can study it. And I'm not sure my character knows that, but I, as the player, can tell you they gave me the wrong kind of metal for the net.
Do you think this person is at all tied to the veteran? Because the veteran has seen this monster and also didn't at least believe he should hunt it. Do you think this character knows about that?
Oh, you mean it's they're just saying that and they really want the veteran?
Oh no, I'm saying, do you think like the veteran told them
Oh,
that he
yes.
didn't think the monster was a threat, or he is,
Oh,
or they're
yeah.
like other wise tied together somehow?
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that.
Is
So the veteran, yeah.
is
Go ahead.
this person someone that you trust? Is this someone who you would like normally, like if they told you their opinion, you would weigh it in high regard?
Yeah, maybe. I think it was used to be one of my teachers, and I think it was one of the very few humans who sort of saw me, like gave me the feeling was not quite as intense as with the lake cryptid, because that's just like there's no
You can't
comparison.
replace the lake
But
cryptid. Yeah.
sort of like, oh, I see you and I see what you can do, and sort of saw something in me, and that. So yeah, I think I trust them, but yeah, I still went on the hunt because I'm still like, yeah, but what good is it? Then they still leave you. You still end up alone, and you don't stay in school forever with someone who's like, oh, this is the job well done, and you could be so good at doing this, and have you tried that, and is supporting you. And so I'm like, yeah, I kind of trust them, but I kind of I don't trust that the feeling lasts or the support lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the 5 of Hearts, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All
Okay.
you heck.
It's all me.
Yeah.
7 of Diamonds.
7 of Diamonds. What selfish reason do you have for killing the monster?
I think in a similar vein to the more environmentally focused people, instead of preserving in order to study in a natural behavior, my character is more, let's, take this thing down, study and ask questions later. Because, like, if this is a cryptid that doesn't, like, I don't know, immediately disintegrate or something like that,
Yeah.
there's something to be learned just in a different way.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're doing it for science.
Or science,
Want to
but
dissect
in a
more
selfish
quickly?
way.
Yeah.
For the greater good, and I am good.
I mean, like,
And my name is first on the paper.
yeah, I was gonna say your name is absolutely on the paper if
Yeah.
you do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you will not be et al.
That's so true. Oh no.
Yeah.
Co-author, maybe?
Ooh,
Perhaps?
can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay, next up. 3 of Clubs.
What traces did the monster leave in this area?
Oh, this is sick as hell. I think we saw those like pinecone plates. They're shedding. Like
Oh my
almost like
Oh.
snake skin. Like we're finding like traces of those falling off. We're not sure if it's, and like on the underside is where that bioluminescent powder is. So it's almost like it's protecting, like holding that powder in. But those, we're finding those are like shedding and falling off, and it's unclear why.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you saying individually or like with the snake skin? It's just all of it. So there's like a
I don't
husk
know.
of a
I'm
person.
totally, I don't think it's like the person. I think it's like
Okay.
it's like little
That's
shreds of it. You know what I
horrifying.
mean?
Okay.
Like if I think of like a pine cone, it's like the little leaves, like it's
Mhm.
those, and whether or not
Yeah.
they've like grown or changed in some way, like I don't know. I'm leave it to the group, but I think that's what it is that it's
Yeah.
changing somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you think the plates that fall off are getting replaced? Like, do you think it's growing in like bigger plates, or do you think there is something new under them?
Oh my god,
I
it's like milk teeth and they're falling out and then something.
I'm more keen on the second. I think that like because of their structure, it's possible that it's grown in size and so it needs, but I think it's also like I think that this creature is transforming. I think it's becoming something else, which is creating an urgency.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
And I kind of
Oh no,
I
please
kind
go.
of I kind of want the plates to look like the snakeskin, like this transparent, like it doesn't have color, but it looks like a transparent
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. They're like the right shape. They have the right powder, and that's how
Yeah.
we know they're there. But they don't look like they do on the monster.
Mhm.
I think my character specifically, a little worried about this. In part
Mhm.
because I think the forest changes the monsters in it.
Yeah.
And if I've
Ooh.
been worried about these monsters doing violence, this thing taking a new shape, also does something like in my head to
Yeah.
what's happening to it.
If we're like having that conversation, I think it would be at this point that my character would like look at the rest of the party and ask like, are we doing the right and good thing? I think that like inner turmoil would kind of come to a head in this moment. Like I think I have this secret hope that if it evolves into something else, like it can be left alone, right? Like it, you know, I think it's a small hope and a stupid one, but I think that that's the point where my character would express some of this turmoil that's been driving her.
I think it's interesting you think if it transforms, you want to leave it alone, because I'm here now, like, if it transforms, that actually, like, emboldens me to not want to leave it alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's valid too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of don't want us to go to like play out the dialogue because I feel like this
for sure
would sort of pre-answer the final question.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
great.
but I like that you brought it up, and I think it's cool to leave it open a little bit, like how our characters answer that, or whether we even have the conversation and not just tell you to shut up.
Right. I think it's I love the kind of idea where it's like the questions drop, there's an awkward pause, and then we like lift to a different scene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw a card so we go there.
Yes.
4 of Hearts.
4 of Hearts. Who would be proud of you if you defeated the monster?
Ooh. I think now the answer to that question is I would be proud of myself for coming out here and doing something I've been scared of. But I also think there's like our community like wanted us to come out here and hunt it, and I feel like the community would be proud of me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think like to some degree this is me becoming an adult.
Yeah.
Do you think your mentor would though?
Oh, absolutely not.
And does that eat at you a little bit?
Yeah. And like coming out here initially, I don't think I thought I would be proud of myself. I think now that is changing for me.
Yeah. Did you feel like you have something to prove?
Yeah, I think it's the only reason I would go on a hunt like this is because I feel like I have something to prove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I have the King of Diamonds. Why are you grateful to the monster? Oh my god. Why am I grateful?
It's like the cards know.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I want to answer this with a lake cryptid, but I'm trying to not make it about the lake cryptid again because I feel like I'm mentioning the lake cryptid all the time.
I think that's fine though.
Yeah,
like
I
think it's a defining bit of your character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we can find a parallel together, because I feel like I'm grateful to the like maybe monsters in general, because I feel like it ties in with why I admire them, like because of the connection and belonging and being a part of something bigger. And maybe that's why I'm grateful, because I'm here with you guys. You know?
Oh, I love it.
I
love
feel
it.
like I finally have found people who don't think I'm weird for like sensing monsters or sensing cryptids, and finally this is something useful, at least to a degree. And I like have a purpose, and I mean, maybe I'm gonna see the lake cryptid again. That I haven't shared. I haven't shared that bit. But
I think there's something cool around like this is a thing that was weird and left me ostracized, and now people see a lot of value in it. But it is also the plot of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh no!
It's also, sorry, I didn't catch that.
It's also the plot of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I think it's great.
It was a good plot. We should use it.
Oh.
Isn't this the plot of so many stories, though?
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah, true.
I really like that plot.
It's a really good plot.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe my name is Rudolph.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god.
We call you Rudy for short.
Yeah.
We discovered one character's name and play so far.
Yeah.
This is very good. There's 17 cards left. All right.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jack of Hearts.
The Jack of Hearts. Why does the monster make you insecure?
Ooh. I think that my character would be insecure because she is receiving these dreams and these visions almost as if, it's trying to tell her something and she can't comprehend that. And being able to even like describe it to the rest of the group is incredibly difficult, and it's making her feel inadequate.
Oh, I like that.
I really like that. Do you find yourself like over explaining things to try and compensate?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Really scrutinizing particular signs when tracking, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting this vibe of like when you don't have the word and then you try to explain around it, like with so many more words and none
Yeah.
of them are quite right, but you try to sort of get
Mhm.
closer by circling the topic. And I feel like that's what you've been doing.
Have you been having persistent dreams, or do you think it was like a one and done?
I wouldn't say it would be like too often. It's definitely not just one. I think it's just a couple like occasional experiences.
Do you think they've been happening more as we've gotten deeper into the forest?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, King of Clubs.
King of Clubs. Where do you find refuge from the monster?
Oh, that is such a hard question because, like, I think the way we've built this one is like the monster is ever present in our physical space.
Yeah. I mean, you can just take out the question and draw a different one if you feel like it doesn't fit what we built.
I think there is still an answer, and it leans kind of back into like the group dynamic. I think it's when like at night when we're preparing camp and we're talking about like home or telling stories, like just the mental escape and the nostalgia of like, oh yeah, so and so, and like kind of going that mental escape from the place that we're in is really the only kind of solace in that. And it's fleeting, it's brief until there's like a strange like snapping twig, and then it's all too like present. But in those fleeting moments where we like are strengthening the sense of community between the four of us, I think that's when.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And there's definitely a picture where the camera like goes from the orange and red of the fire to the orange and red on your skin.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Do we want to shuffle this King of Spades back into the deck at this point?
I think that's a good idea.
Let me do that. Let me do that because you cannot click recall and shuffle.
Oh yeah, no worries. I know how to. I shuffled it. We're good.
Oh, perfect. You know how it works. Great.
Yeah. I've used a ton of playing cards.
I'm not used to people knowing how playing cards work, so
no,
don't click the wrong stack.
Then it all goes back.
No,
yeah,
because we've had a lot of questions we had already, so
right.
Yeah, I've used a ton of playing cards. I have no worries. Cool. Well, I will draw a card. Now the game could end at any point. I think there's like a cool
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I did want that back.
Yeah.
I'm so worried about clicking this card. and it being
That is
it.
gonna be it.
This
Uh,
is
Oh.
It's not. I did shuffle the deck right, everyone.
Yay!
It is the Queen of Hearts.
yeah. And the question is, why does the monster make you angry?
Oh, why does the monster make me angry? I think to like some small degree, I am blaming this monster for the violence I intend to enact on it.
Oh my god, yeah.
Um, and I am upset that it is making me do that.
Hmm.
Like I don't think as a kid this is the job I saw myself doing.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask this earlier when you were talking about like the job security and everything, like with someone who is like feels very tender hearted. Why did this feel like the only path for you?
I don't know. I don't think we've talked a lot about like where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think there's like a very real possibility that like the sort of I don't know like trade I was in has like collapsed and like I knew the veteran and he invited me on a hunt. This is just sort of like a thing I fell into.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like
Uh,
maybe you learned some sort of craft that was sort of being replaced by industrial made things.
yeah,
It's not, you don't get enough um orders to sort of make a living.
I'm an RPG writer and I need more than
Ah!
$5.
No,
Oh, the
it's
Oh
too
madness.
no.
real.
No, sorry,
No.
sorry, no. Yeah, no. I think I did some
No,
sort of
you
like
were doing some sort of Black Forest local arts and crafts
right, right,
kind
right,
of
right, right, right. Yeah. um, yeah, no. I think I was
not that
in like
real.
I think I was in something different. And I blame the monster. Like, not this monster specifically, but like, I fell into this, and then now I have to do violence, and I could sort of hide behind the veteran previously, and now
Oh,
that the veteran has seen the monster and decided I can't keep doing this, I have had to take it up. And I blame the monster for that. Like,
Yeah.
if the monster was just a little more clear that it was going to be violent, maybe I wouldn't be in this position now.
Yeah.
perfect.
So good. Oh my god.
Before, oh yeah, before
Yeah,
we draw the
please go
next
ahead.
card, is it okay if we take like a quick like 5-minute break?
Sure.
We've been sitting here for a little while, and just so we can refill water, do all that stuff.
That
Yeah,
sounds great.
that sounds great.
Perfect. Okay. We will return. The king is back in the deck. The game could end at any moment. And we'll come back
Dun
and
dun
see
dun.
what happens. So, catch us in a beat, guys.
Cool. You gonna take us back in?
Right now, we're back.
We're back.
We're doing it. And it is Andrea's draw.
Yeah. Let's see. I have the 4 of clubs. Wait. No, spades. See? I was like, hey, we had that question. Oh, what rumor do you spread about the monster, and do you believe it yourself? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I think I'm telling people that the monster really is dangerous, and I think I'm just exaggerating the damage. Like this, when you said like you brushed against something and now you have like it's burned your skin, and I'm definitely over exaggerating that, and I'm like, and the entire arm was basically
Yeah.
orange now, and I'm like, and I feel like it's not. I'm not entirely sure what some part of like the anxious part of my brain definitely believes it, but I think it's just a way for me to deal with my own fear. Like if I'm reacting so strongly, there must be a reason, right? It must be really dangerous, and so yeah, I feel like I have a hard time to keeping things in perspective. And it's just because I feel scared all the time, and there must be a reason, and it must be the monster, right? So yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This is very good. All right. Look at now. I'm scared to draw cards.
Everyone's so scared to
This
click
game's
now.
gonna
Yeah.
end. No. 3 of spades.
The 3 of spades. What rumor have you heard about the monster, and do you believe it?
Ooh. I think it would be interesting to tie in this potential evolution that it's going through.
Mhm.
That it is rumored that when it begins to do something like this
Yep.
is really the last chance to hunt it down and stop it before it like essentially enters like a metamorphic stage that lasts for a very long time and then it just erupts into something incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you? Because this, it's interesting because it's in the symbiotic relationship with like a bigger, scarier monster. Do you think the forest monster went through something like this previously, or like, do you think you believe that at least?
Um I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily believe it.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's me. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna pull it, guaranteed.
let's see what happens. Da-da-da-da. Get wrecked. Ace of Hearts.
The Ace of Hearts. What do you think is beautiful about the monster?
Hmm. Um, I think as I've gotten like the dust that was on my arm, and I love the idea of like it's burned in and now it glows. As I look at it, I like find that to be beautiful, right? Like, and so unique because anything else, it's there are things like this, but that it leaves a mark, and like it's not an incredibly damaging one, but like there's just something really hypnotic and beautiful about that, I think.
Did it make a specific pattern?
Oh, ooh, good question. I think yes. Like you can see on my arm where it like brushed, and again like with like the butterfly dust, how it looks like you take like a brush and kind of like swipe it, and you can see like the individual little like almost as if like stars in the sky kind of a thing in certain points where it's just this like bright red and orange that spattered across my arm.
Yeah.
And like, though there's probably some like pain to it, it's still like a pretty mesmerizing thing to observe, and it makes me wonder like if we could find where this thing nests or where this thing like moved around a ton, like what would that look like, and how is it marking the forest in ways like that we're missing out on?
Yeah. So good.
Here we go.
Oh.
It's the 7 of spades.
What is your overall approach to the monster hunt? Like,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think we know a good bit of this already. Is that I am trying to, I think, sort of follow in the veteran's footsteps because we've hunted this specific monster before. So
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of the things he previously showed me. Yeah.
Are you trying to teach us what you learned?
I think I would like to. I don't know how effective I am at it yet. Because it's sort of, my first time flying solo, as it were, here. Is that I'm like trying to explain things, and anytime someone asks me a question about it, I'm like, I don't know,
But
this is what
why
he
do we do
did.
it like this? And you're
Yeah.
like,
This is the way it's always been done.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Queen of Clubs.
I'm holding my breath every time.
Yeah, me
this
too.
card.
Me too.
The suspense.
They say the monster is pure evil. Why do you doubt that? I mean, the lake cryptid wasn't pure evil, and it's part of nature. So how can it be evil? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's there. It just exists, and like, yeah.
Do you wish you could believe that it was?
I think part of me is like, but yeah, this is why you're scared, because the stories are true and it is evil and you should fight it. But there's this other part of me that says no, but how can it be true? Like, how can because it's all connected, and how can because it developed, and there's no evilness in nature. It's just our interpretation, and it might be a danger, but it doesn't have an evil motivation. I feel like that's a human thing to have. And yeah, I feel like I'm very torn, because at the same time I do believe in the danger, and there must be a reason why I'm scared, but yeah, I don't really believe that.
I love that we're like getting into like the rumor questions, like all kind of in a row. Like that's wild to me. The cards, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go pull a card. It's gonna be fine. It
was fine.
The worst part is every time you pull a card and it's not it, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, that means I'm gonna pull it now.
It's like, okay, I have a full round now. It can't be me.
Yeah. So what you get is, what emotion did you see in the monster's eyes?
Oh.
Supposing it has eyes.
I mean, it could have little photoreceptors, I guess, that like eye spots. It could. I think that'd be interesting. So hey, free cannon. Oh, I want to say curiosity.
Oh, interesting.
It wants to know about us.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Do you think this is why I've been sensing it all the time? Because it actually is near and it's observing us?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is a very curious being, and it's almost a lot like us. Like there are so many folks out there that want to know about it, and it also wants to learn about us, but its limitations of where it can go are a lot more extensive, I think, than us.
Yeah.
I think there's like a cool parallel between us picking up like the like now transparent plates from its old armor and it stealing your compass.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god, yes.
there's a weird little cinematic parallel here that I think we
Yeah.
would have seen in the movie of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh my god, who knows what else it picked up?
Right.
Did we leave anything behind, or did we like really take everything after we left?
I
Yeah.
think it's like
Picking up-
hard to say, right? I think like I probably have all my essential stuff, but
Mhm.
like a pocket knife or like
Yeah.
a few pages for my notebook that kind of fall out anyways. Like I can't find them now, like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I sort of like the
Yeah.
idea that our rations and whatnot have been like I feel like we are going through them faster than we should, but
Yeah.
the veteran isn't here to be like, oh no, we've been there's just more of us than usual. Like I
Yeah.
feel like there's like some sort of like bone deep feeling that things are going missing faster than they
Mhm.
should.
Yeah.
I like the visual of it maybe like picking up like random objects that fall off of the net, like random like what is this paper
Yeah.
clip for?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god. Yeah.
God, I love our net.
I do.
Yeah.
I do love the
It's
so
net.
definitely not monster repelling though. All right.
Next
Are we ready
question.
for the next card?
I got it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. 5 of spades.
Oh, the monster has spared you during a previous encounter. Does that make you feel relieved or guilty?
I think both. But if I had to pick one more than the other, it is guilty. Because I'm convinced that like in the same situation, I will be forced to make a very different choice. And like like there's just that deep like about it, right? I wish that like my instinct was to leave it alone in the same way that it was towards me, and like this like the rallying against the situation I think is really eating at me.
Yeah. Very good.
Here we go.
Keegan.
Yeah.
Ace of spades.
It's so stressful, even though it's like it's still spades and it's still like
Yeah. Yeah. So your question is, how do animals react to the monster?
Oh, I think the animals in the forest, for whatever reason, seem to really like the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we have this sort of sense that it is part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And they treat it much the same way they might treat like other friendly animals. Like I think when we've seen it off at a distance, that it'll have like like a few birds on its shoulder, or like the deer aren't running from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And I think almost there's like some degree where we can track it by seeing where animal tracks are heaviest.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
things seem to congregate to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
we see little like mice darting through the roots, and they look like they've got a bunch of static because they've been near the monster.
Yeah, there's sort of like sometimes you'll see like a wolf off in the distance, and it'll have like a handprint on its head that is like
oh my god.
My God.
in
Yeah.
luminescent
Oh my God. Yeah.
sort of powder or whatever.
Ooh, and maybe that's like there's like it's the animals that have been near it and touched that we keep seeing glimpses of, and it's like stressing us out because we think it's the monster, right? Like
Yeah,
a
and I
squirrel
think we also,
smelling up a
like,
tree.
Knowing it has been like shedding the plates, I think as time goes on, we're seeing more of them now
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it is, it's like potentially lost the plates on its like hands and arms and stuff.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, next card.
Oh my God. Is it my turn? Is it my turn, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm doing it.
No.
Five.
Oh no.
5 of clubs. Okay. What traces did you leave on the monster's body?
Ooh,
Oh,
an inverse.
oh,
Uno reverse card.
How? It's such a good question, and I don't know how to answer it. Does someone? And I feel like maybe it's not for my character to answer. Maybe it's for someone else to answer.
I kind of love for it to be either you or Keegan's characters. I really love the poeticness of like you feel like this like sense of revenge, this urgency to like get rid of the monster, and so you lashed out in some fashion during a close encounter. I don't know that, or Keegan's like need to prove myself, need to protect, kind of one of those two. Those make the most sense to me.
The other thing I was going to propose is that potentially your sense of where cryptids are has affected it somehow.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Like it's creating like a weird like frequency issue.
Like a weird feedback of some sort.
Oh, maybe the color has changed a little bit.
Ooh. I do like that. Ooh, and my arm like changes with it. Like we're just like very cool.
Yeah, you know what happened? It's like the collective you, and I think since we've been like walking through this forest for a while now, right? And we've been having made camp and probably made fire, and I think and I don't know, maybe some of us like poured some leftover soup into the ground or something, and I think that made like this affected the whole network, and now the monster has changed color. And I think like what direction did it go? Did it more go towards like red and purple, or did it go towards yellow and green?
So I think we've been describing it as a sunset so far.
Yeah.
Like every time we've talked about the color of the monster, what if it starts shifting more into like night tones?
Yeah, I was gonna say getting
like
darker.
That. Like so yeah, dark purple and blue then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also makes it so much scarier for me.
Yeah.
Just like a dark purple in a dark forest is
like knowing that it will be even more difficult to see now.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, this is the last round, regardless of what happens next.
No. There it is. Yes. That's so cool.
It was me.
Suddenly the monster is facing you. Do you attack it? And we all answer that question, and then the game is over.
Oh man. Oh man. I love this like kind of like it happens very suddenly. Like we're all kind of like sitting around and like the sun is going down and we start to look for the telltale signs of the glow on like the animals and like the arm. I'm like waiting to watch as it kind of like softly glows, and as we're watching it, we watch as it turns that dark purple and blue, and we kind of look at each other like, what does this mean? And before we can even like make sense of it, the monster is there.
Yeah.
Do you do it?
Is this like for every person makes the choice?
Yeah. Yeah, every person has to make a choice. But before we have to make a choice, I wonder, do we want to describe the monster, or do we want to leave this to everybody's imagination? Like, what do we actually see? Has it transformed?
I have a pretty good mental sense of what I think I see.
Okay, cool.
Which is that like as these plates have fallen off, it is just like a glowing purple sort of humanoid figure.
Oh my
just
god, yeah.
Sort of off in the distance. Like it has fully lost all of its plates. It's fully changed colors. And it just looks like a glowing person at this point.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't.
The card.
Yeah.
gotta
Drew the
answer
card,
first.
so I have to go first. I know. I know.
I mean, you don't have to, but you could.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, no, I think just based on my character's skepticism towards the actual rumor that it was going to turn into something,
Mhm.
more threatening or dangerous or whatever, that it really dawns on her that in order to study, and especially with natural behavior, you can't just end the subject. That this has kind of proven that there is more to learn, and you can't really do so by killing this monster. So
Yeah.
she won't.
Yeah.
I think given like in this moment, like now is the moment to act, and now is the and like it's appearing in such like a beautiful and transformed way, and I can like see literally myself in it and it in me, like on me. And I've had this like crisis of whatever. I don't think I attack it. I think that I
No.
am like overwhelmed by like the potential, and like recognize that like damned if I do, damned if I don't. But like I want to like not even protect this thing, but I don't want to be the thing that causes this to not be anymore, because I don't know if that's actually the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think we see me sort of like raise my gun because I have
Yeah.
this hunting rifle, and I think I close my eyes and I apologize and I take the shot.
Yeah. Oh,
My heart.
yes.
So good.
Yes. Oh my god, I know what I'm gonna do. I think I run towards the monster, and because it reminds me so much of the lake cryptid. It's just not even like the appearance, but just the feeling I get, and it's not scary anymore. It's just like, yeah, this is how I should feel. And I kind of run towards it, and maybe it's also like sort of, where you go, where you sort of run towards something or someone, sort of intending to attack it, but you really want to be close, and I think I get in the way of your shot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
the game.
gosh.
The
That's
plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's so beautiful and so painful and so sad.
Yeah.
I think there's a very real chance. I want to give us an ending shot here.
Yeah.
That at the very end of this, I think we see Sarah and Hex characters leaving the forest.
Yeah.
And I think we just sort of leave in the air what's happened to the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oof. Oof.
Oh. Yeah.
Why is it so good though?
I was like, I don't even know what to say now. So good.
Oh,
That was
so good.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes here still.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
want, do you want to
Yeah.
talk to us about how the Kickstarter is going?
Yeah, what I would like to do first, though, is because we have a little ending ritual to the
Ooh,
game, which
even
is
better.
basically like after the game, go around the group and have everyone name a personal highlight of the session. And you can also name like future wishes for future sessions, or just talk about the experience in general. And I would like to do like a round of stars, basically, to sort
Yeah.
of in the gaming and the game and playing, and sort of transition into just chatting about the game.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
And
happy to start if that
yeah,
works.
please.
Yeah, Star, I think a thing that really set the tone of this monster early on were two like really cool things. One was the cool like pine cone armor. I
Mhm.
think was such a fun, like really distinct visual for it. And then I think immediately following it with, oh, under all of the little pines or whatever glows, just made such like a cool. It made
Yeah.
a monster I could like instantly picture, but I hadn't seen before in a way that I
Yeah.
thought was really cool.
I loved the
Yeah.
lake cryptid and how much like just adding and like even the adding of additional monsters to the narrative and how it like helped speak to experience and introduce like those different
Yeah.
themes, right? Because the lake cryptid really did inform a lot of the approach,
Yeah.
the feelings, the vibes, and I think a really beautiful way. Kind of trying to like, if this thing is an unknown and this thing is a known, but we're not gonna they're not the same. It was such a good foil, I think, and to watch your character kind of struggle with like knowing that it can be different, but like hating, like this thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked the kind of like emotions about the cryptid that were brought to the table here. I think there were so like it was a really good distribution of questions too, as it kind of fell that way of like how eventually all of us kind of came to the same conclusion of like, oh, we're actually really sad that this whole situation is happening.
Yeah.
But we all got there in different personal journeys, I feel like.
Yeah.
That was, and it was really interesting to watch all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my main star for today is all the descriptions because I feel like you were all so good at like adding a little detail and adding a little description or finding a metaphor, finding an image, and that was so good. And I had like the images in my head were fantastic. Thank you for that. It was really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't believe we did like almost all the questions in
Yeah.
this little time,
Yeah, we did great.
basically. But yeah,
I'm so glad we shuffled that king back into the deck because I
yeah,
think adding that suspense really added a lot to it.
yeah,
Like
Mhm.
it could
yeah,
end any time now.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
um, yeah, I think that's a really cool thing about like prompt-based games like
yeah,
this. We did Viva La Queer Bar on the channel previously, and I know I
Mhm.
had really similar feelings about it then. But just like
yeah,
making a good set of questions is hard already. Making a good set of questions that you can get in any order and they still tell like you still get like a coherent narrative out of it, I think is like a lot harder than people give it credit for sometimes. And I just want to say, like, this is the second game of yours we've done now, and both of them have been just so good at doing this.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah,
It's very cool to have like um again, it's that collaborative storytelling piece where we're all like getting a say in what happens and the immediate connection and vibe that it can create, right? You go through setting it up, here's some visuals, here's some stuff to kind of get us generally in the same place. But even as the course of the game went on, to feel us like dialing in together is like such a cool like experience. Like, oh, and it's the thing and it adds this and we've been building to this the entire time and it feels just like
yeah,
so satisfying.
yeah,
That's what I think like most TTRPGs are trying to get to with like different mechanics and like vehicles. I love how quickly, like in 2 hours, we not only established that, but like so much more. And like if you took these characters and did, continued to do this, like the depth
yeah,
you can reach with this kind of format of the connection, the vulnerability, the storytelling, it's
yeah,
so rewarding. Because again, I think that's why we have the pull to TTRPGs, and it's just sort of like, well, what if we just did that then? And I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely props to Alex Roberts for coming up with the Descended from the Queen system in the first place
Uh-huh.
and allowing us to build on it and to use bits and pieces of it and make it into our own version of the same sort of mechanics. And yeah, I think for me, this is really just how this building on each other's ideas and like adding something or asking another question. And I just love how everybody eventually starts asking leading questions and is like and suggesting complications and suggesting backstory. And I love that this just happens because people genuinely get curious and genuinely want to know more, and then they ask a question about it. And yeah, it's just I just really love Descended from the Queen games, not just writing them but also just playing them.
It's very cool.
And yeah,
Yeah, I'm always worried for the first like 4 cards because like you have to go around
Yeah.
the table once before like the leading questions really start to happen to like
Yeah.
set it up. But you always get like the first 4 and you're like, okay, is this gonna go somewhere? And then it always does. You just have to
Mhm.
sort of stick with it
Yeah.
for more than a round. But
Yeah.
I know I did that with Viva La Queer Bar too. I was like, huh, I wonder where this is
Yeah.
going. Is this going anywhere?
Yeah.
And then it always does.
It
Yeah.
does. The meteor will find you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always like this blank page thing in the beginning where you have to start somewhere with the sketching.
Mhm.
And there's always a bit of hesitation, like, am I like defining too much of the world? Which is why we especially put this in like be brave, and you can just do that, and you can trust the other players to say, you know what, this is something I actually have to veto. But otherwise it'll be fine. People will like your idea and people will build on that. And they generally, I have never seen a Descendant from the Queen game go completely wrong.
And I think
Because people just manage, we just come together and we make something
it's
out of that.
yeah, like the mindset coming in and sitting down is just immense. Like it immediately gives you here's the structure, because it never occurred to me to like be like no to any of the ideas that came out, because they all felt so like unique and clever and interesting, and like coming from like, even though like Heck is saying the idea or you're saying the idea, it feels like we're all like doing it. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It's inherently collaborative. It's inherently like everybody gets a say, and we're all going to be really jazzed about it. Like Heck, when you started talking about like symbiotic relationships and you brought your like real expertise, and like I was so excited. I loved it because I was like, yes, like I couldn't create that on my own, and like I couldn't bring that at all. And the fact that like those kinds of things, player specific unique like knowledge and quirks, become so present and can be celebrated in this format.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the feedback. This is it's always, I always say this, but it never ceases to be amazing to see something that you wrote, or like wrote together with someone else in this case, and then you give it to people and it works. It works.
It works.
So it does what we intended to do it.
Right.
What we intended it to do. And this is just, it just never ceases to be amazing. And this is something I really love as a game designer, to just see that happen
it's very
again
cool.
and again. And yeah, it's just amazing.
I'd be very interested to play with like other groups of people to see how long it takes for the doubt of like what we're doing to settle in, because I think from this, with this group, the doubt was immediately present, like from the first card of like, are we the baddies? Like I loved how immediately it hit. I'd be really curious to see like other people with other backgrounds and like the different playing of the cards, of like how many groups actually get to the end and are like, yeah, no, we're ending this. Like I think that's, because I think that's really, really interesting. And the way you've written the questions brings so much insight and like thoughtfulness of like, you have the like, why are you afraid of it, but also why do you admire it? Like what about it? And it really makes you get into that space. I love it. I think they're well balanced, but like so open that they like, even the thing that you respect about it, you can still have that like, but like screw that guy. Like I just it was very good. Very, very good.
So good.
Awesome. Before we break it, everything, the Kickstarter is running currently. It ends March 1st. How have things been going with that?
It's been going well. We have like almost 150 backers by now.
Nice.
We are definitely funded, and we don't have any official stretch goals, but excuse me. But any money we raise beyond the funding goal will first give everybody a raise who contributed to the project, and then everything else will go into future projects by Plot Bunny Games, and will sort of finance other stuff that we pay before we sell anything. And so you're definitely supporting Plot Bunny Games as a publisher, and us as game designers, and all the freelancers that are going to be doing the proofreading, and yeah, everybody who did something. And I can tease you with a little bit of more art. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have a forest monster. Behold.
Ooh, I love
Oh,
those.
I love it. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, and there's even a little camp.
Oh, so
Oh, that's so
cool.
But yeah,
cute.
so yeah, if you want to find out what the remaining 5 questions are that we didn't draw today, you should definitely back the project, and you can get it in English and in German, and you can get it as a PDF, which will be screen reader ready with image descriptions and tags and clickable tables of contents and everything, or you can get it as a printed zine. And you can also buy basically our back catalog of other zine-sized games, and it will, as long as you like, I think up to 3 zines, the shipping cost will stay the same. So if you're interested in what we're doing and want to use the opportunity to buy something in print, that's going to be shipped all across the way from Germany to you, then this is an opportunity where you can do that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at the Kickstarter, we did Viva La Queer Bar previously. Great time, real
Yeah.
fun game. And I've read Dolly, We Have a Dream House. I haven't actually got
Yeah.
to bring it down to a table yet.
Yeah.
And it's so cute, and I wanted an
show.
excuse to pick it up, so I'm probably
Yeah.
going to use this Kickstarter as an excuse to
Oh, it
go
This is
fucking
Dolly.
crazy.
cute.
It's so
This is
cute.
Dolly. We bought a dream house.
And then the other one is Bunny. We bought a dream. We bought a Bunny. We bought a dungeon. Ugh.
So this is the German version, but the English version looks pretty
Cute.
much the same. And you can make a little dungeon
Aw.
with bunnies who move into the dungeon and renovate it, and
I like
you
this
draw a
lot.
map together.
That's so good.
Yeah, and you can get all of these games in as add-ons in the Kickstarter.
Awesome. Well, I think that is a great place for us to close out. And Andrea, where is the best place for people to find your stuff? We obviously have the Kickstarter link on the overlay beneath us, but are there other places people can find you at?
Yes, you should definitely look at plotbunnygames.com. This is the website, and it has all the social links at the top and at the bottom. And if you want the descriptions of the games in English, you should look up Plot Bunny Games on itch.io, because that's where the English descriptions live, because the website for now is in German only. And you can find you can find Plot Bunny Games on Mastodon, on Blue Sky, on Tumblr a little bit, and we have Discord, which is mostly in German, so probably not for most of the watchers.
Hey, I'm learning
But,
a lot. I'm actually in the Discord.
Yeah, right,
Amazing.
you are right. I remember. Yeah, practice your German by coming to the Discord.
Yeah.
Duolingo, no.
You could
Plot
just
Bunny
lurk.
Discord.
You
Yes.
can just lurk. And yeah, if you want to find me as a private person, it's always something with Curious Cat, and I'm on Tumblr, I'm on Mastodon, I'm on Blue Sky, and various way too many Discords. You've probably seen me around. And yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Heck, tell the people who you are, where they can find you, and what you got going on.
Yeah, hey everybody. It's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen, and I'm everywhere on the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch, I guess Twitter, as long as supplies last, etc., etc. Just follow those to figure out where I'm going to be, because I wander around a whole bunch of AP channels and play some amazing games with some incredibly talented people. The thing that I want to highlight the most is, if you like the whole biology and scientist vibe I brought to this, you'll be interested to know that Lost Caravan is going to be holding an On the Wild Side week from March 3rd to March 9th for World Wildlife Day. I've been organizing this for a while. It's my next biggest project that's coming up very, very soon. We have a bunch of GMs and a bunch of players that are all contributing to this. And it'll be ending with me GMing a session of Monster Care Squad. It's basically being a vet, but a TTRPG. It's a great time. And I'm so excited for what's going to happen with that. But yeah, we'll be supporting Rewild, and we might be tying in some support to Palestine into that as well. And word on the street is there's some really cool donation incentives, like a Planet Zoo stream for me, or maybe, just maybe, a social media takeover where I go to the zoo and interact with the community. So,
Nice.
you know, it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time. So please tune in during that week if you can.
Awesome. Keegan, we have a cult. We do stuff. The next time you can see us doing stuff is we will be back here next Wednesday for our second part of our 2-part series for Little Wolves, where we have cute little masks. And we'll be wrapping that up from Nevin, which will be very fun. So catch that next Wednesday at 8 Eastern Standard. And then we have an upcoming episode of Character Study where we sit down with a person from the TTRPG space and we make a character in a system they enjoy. And we'll be joined by Cassie Mothwin. And we're going to be using the In Extremis system, which I'm very excited about. It'll be very cool. Very
I don't think
fresh.
it's been said on a stream yet, so breaking announcement here. Cassie Mothman has also come onto the +1 team.
Yeah.
Officially, she is the new head of Zine Club, which we're super excited about, and we'll be talking about that on stream some, I'm sure. So,
yes, for sure.
Looking forward to that.
And if you don't know what Zine Club is, it's because you've been living under a rock, and you should check it out, and you should sign up. What's the fancy URL for that, Keegan?
Yeah, it's rpgzineclub.com.
So go to there and get yourself some really good zines, because you're betraying yourself by not doing it. Keegan, anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it for us.
Awesome. So what we'll do now is we'll wave at the camera, and we'll say this has been great, and we hope everyone enjoys their pizza.
Thank you.
Bye.
I hope everyone enjoys their pizza.
Bye.